Sorry for being a little bit tired and the sunburn. I just flew in from covering the situation in Maui this morning. I think I got home at 3 in the morning. So education is something that's near and dear to me a little bit by accident. Originally I was a West Pointer, and I was heading there to become some engineering officer, and I got there and didn't really like the person that I was. The Lord really convicted me, didn't really want me to be an engineer, so I left and went to this small Christian school in Wisconsin called Maranatha Baptist University, and basically took teaching on a bit of a lark, and found out that I loved it. I loved education, and I loved the work that I was getting to do. Came back and taught in Knightstown, Indiana, and found in the first 2 years that I had been nominated and chosen for Teacher of the Year of that building. And if a little red flag has not gone off, it should, because there really is not a situation in which a first and second year teacher should be getting 2 Teacher of the Year awards. And there's a reason, and it's not because I was some kind of gifted educator. I was energetic, and I knew my stuff because I was also a biology pre-med student when I was in college. Science had always fascinated me. But the system of education, at least in the public sector today, is aggressively mediocre. But as I learned when I was the director of science at Indianapolis Public Schools, and I was in charge of about 200 teachers from elementary to the science teachers in middle and high school, that they really don't let you do your job. They don't really allow you to teach children things that make them more effective in instruction, that allow them to develop really strong character. It is caught up in this muck and mire of mediocrity. And it really is that, because for years now, for several decades, since the Department of Education was founded back in Jimmy Carter's administration, we have filled our education system with a lot of kind of mass blanketed standards that teachers have to teach to in order to get them to pass a specific test. But I work with a lot of classical education individuals, and there is just something about access to really nutrient-rich materials that puts all of the mediocre stuff to shame. And there are a lot of really great teachers out there, but if you give a teacher mediocre materials, they can really only ever polish those mediocre materials so much. If you give me the book Go Dog Go, which is a phenomenal children's book, by the way, and you give me that to teach to a 6th grade classroom in English, I can only do so much with Go Dog Go in that class before the students are bored and not doing anything, and it's really not worth their time. But you give a student the Bible, and you give them a really good teacher, you give them other really great classical pieces of literature, you give them other really great classical texts. You may, in a classical perspective, teach them a little bit of Latin, or in the case of the Bible, give them a little bit of the Koine, the Hebrew, and the Aramaic. You can give them a good teacher and bring something really amazing out of the curriculum. And this is why, by the way, that we see parents who may say they're unqualified in homeschool situations, and they're able to take students just by giving them really good material and pouring their heart into it, and the kids 3 grades above students their age within a couple of years, spending less hours studying the curriculum during the day, and also are more socially, mentally adapted to the world around them. And that all starts with the content and the curriculum. With that, I just wanted to be kind of a short encouragement to you this evening, because we like to talk about, the gloom and doom and the really negative impacts of all of the materials that are created by committee and slotted in and watered down until they're really not worth anything. But the really good stuff is still there. Isaiah says, "My word does not return empty." And if you give a student a chance to look through the Bible, they will not be the same. And it's not a choice to not be the same. It does not return void is an open, explicit statement. It is a commanding directive that when exposed to the powerful, the pure, the exceptionally made Word of God, kids are not only going to be spiritually impacted, which is of course the most important part, but they're also going to be, in a character sense, in an academic sense, and in a functional sense, better off for it. So with that, hopefully that's a little bit encouraging to you. Education is not over. We're not done. We're not packing it in. We just need to start using the right stuff yet again. And with that, hopefully we'll be able to hear a little bit more about electives in which students are able to access just those.